Well, on behalf of Dr. Andre and Pastor Jenny Raybert, welcome to another exciting episode of Behind the Faith. We're so excited to have you joining us right here today.
We sure are. To every single person, it's always good to be together, and it's always so good hearing every single person, with whom we have interviews and all the things that are happening here on the network. So it's so good to have you here. I want to encourage you, please share the link of wherever you're watching this from, because I know some people are watching on Faith now, some people on other platforms, but share the link or share the details with your friends, your family, your frenemies. I hope they are becoming dearly loved ones. Just share the feed with them and let them be blessed by whatever's going to be happening on the show today.
Yeah, there's a lot of incredible content right here on the Faith family of networks, on Behind the Faith right now today, joining you. Listen, I want to encourage you, be a part of Faith Now. Tando's already mentioned it. It's such an incredible platform that so many people have joined. Tando, we've got 91 countries registered at the moment on Faith Now. They've joined us, including countries like mainly the United States, United Kingdom, South Africa. Sure. But we've got countries like Zambia, Netherlands, the United Arab Emirates, Turkey. We have incredible people from India connecting with us. So it's been such a blessing to see so many people connected. And those are some of the stories we even hear from people who do the church specials who join us. They say, listen, all of a sudden, our influence has spread into countries like India. So it's so encouraging for people to join us right here on the Faith family of networks, on Faith Now, and also be a part of our social media platforms.
And what I really enjoy about the Faith Now platform actually is the fact that you can find, there is visual content, so there are teachings, there's so much content that can actually inspire you, uplift you, teach you, right? And there's entertainment, but there are also podcasts as well as radio stations, so you can play your faith now on the road and continue to journey while you're listening to radio stations. So that's beautiful. But stay connected with us on our social media. The handle's very simple, at MyFaithTV, and that's on Facebook, that's on Instagram, that's on Twitter. Make sure you inbox us if maybe you feel a little shy when it comes to sharing, all your comments or your compliments or your questions in public. But we really want to encourage you, like, comment, share, repost, retweet, doesn't matter. Make sure you connect with us on those platforms.
Yeah, make sure you're a part of everything that's taking place. And always know, faithnow.net is the website. But right now, let's go spend some time with Paul, who's a part of the team right here at the Faith family of networks.
My name is Mpotulo, and I'm in the admin department here at Faith Broadcasting Network. And I actually came here around 2015. I was a student at River Bible Institute. So I started serving here since then, and now I'm full-time employed. I guess it's how the ministry runs, because I learned a lot from this ministry personally, and I loved the vision, so I came and I served. I actually started in Prayer Alliance, praying for people, and I moved to the admin department, and we normally interact with faith partners. I love it. Actually, we used to call partners just to check up on them and to pray with them to see if they're still, happy with everything that is running, like the broadcast, the shows and all that. So it was really quite interesting. I must say I am so blessed to see, the vision being fulfilled from a template, if I remember correctly, to see the actual structure. It's been really an amazing experience, and I must say that my faith is also ignited, to see that God can really come through for especially a vision for this magnitude. It has really blessed me. I'm trusting God, to see the move of God. Obviously, that's what we're believing as a ministry and as a church as well, to see, souls coming to know Jesus Christ, to see healings and miracles taking place. So we believe in God actually for a revival. So I am glad to be part of that.
Another amazing interview with Paul, one of our staff right here at the Great Faith Term. And I tell you, every time I hear a journey, just the experience, the faith journey of someone else, it just really just reinforces and reconsolidates that which God has done and what God's still going to be doing as we hear from others. And I mean, we want to hear from you as well, as our faithful partners all around the nations of the world, how the Great Faith Dome journey has also blessed you. I mean, you can email us at partner@myfaithtv.com.
Talking about the Great Faith Dome, we have awesome programs coming straight from us to your home, wherever you are, whether it be on the TV or on your smart device. Of those programs is number 1, 700 Club with Pat Robertson, Mondays to Fridays at 12 p.m. Central African time. And then we have 700 Club Nigeria with Susan Bello, Mondays 12 a.m. Central African time, and then also 11 p.m. Western African time.
Well, you know, every time I listen and I hear about the great content on your favorite channel, Faith Broadcasting Network, I want to encourage you to get the word out, spread it as far and wide. Talking about great content, Bande had an amazing interview with Michael Swain from 4SA, talking about just the general updates about what's happening right here in South Africa with the legislations and various political matters. But I tell you what, the position of the church in society is so important. And I mean, for us to not remain ignorant about these things, but know what it is that God and where He has placed us in society as the Church of Jesus Christ. So check this out.
Well, it's good to have once again joining us Michael Swain from Freedom of Religion South Africa. Welcome to Behind the Faith, Michael.
Great to be with you, Banda. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Michael, you know, for someone who's maybe connecting with us for the first time, what is Freedom of Religion of South Africa and what is it that you guys do exactly?
We are a legal advocacy group and we exist to promote, protect and uphold our religious freedom rights. That is the freedom for all faiths in South Africa to believe whatever it is you want to believe, or even not to believe if you don't want to believe. But we particularly do not believe that anybody should be forced to do something which goes against their sincerely held convictions and faith and beliefs. So that is what we do. And we do that by looking at legislation that may be coming up, by looking at policies, by looking at papers, by looking at what's going on in the courts, and sometimes even going to court ourselves to protect religious freedom.
So, Michael, for the past couple of months, you know, we've been talking about PAPUDA. Can you just give us a brief summary of PAPUDA, and then we'll talk a bit more about the implications and everything else?
Well, PAPUDA stands for the Promotion of Equality and the Prevention of Unfair Discrimination Act. And it gives force and effect to Section 9 of our Constitution, which is the Equality Clause. But the problem is, of course, that depending upon how you define the meaning of the words discrimination and equality and the liabilities that actually come if you fall foul of this, obviously it can have perhaps unintended consequences. And that's really been the real concern with the PAPUDA Amendment Bill. The way that it defines discrimination, for example, it no longer is just simply discriminating against somebody on the basis of, say, their gender or their race or what have you, but it includes whether or not the person has been caused prejudice or feels that their dignity has been undermined. And of course, when you get super subjective factors, including, by the way, the fact that it specifically says that intentionality is no longer required. In other words, even if you didn't mean to, even if you had no intention of perhaps prejudicing somebody or undermining their dignity, yet you are caught in the net of discrimination. And then you have to prove that what you did was fair. And the test of fairness is also very much weighted against, say, people of faith, because it takes into account the context of it. It takes into account whether the person or belonged to a pattern of disadvantaged group or in that type of thing. So it's almost identity politics are woven into it. And so it doesn't actually have an equal scale when it comes to trying to defend yourself against a religious, if you like, inspired discriminatory action. It's very difficult to get out of the net once you're in it.
So, Michael, at the time of our conversation right now, when this is airing, we know that the deadline for submissions for the bill have already passed. So what happens now, and what are the implications if this bill is passed into law?
Well, there has been a tremendous pushback, and I think we're very delighted with the scale of that pushback. I saw yesterday, for example, close of business, and that doesn't mean to say that's going to be the end result, because we are in the last day as we speak, but there were 73,500 submissions just from one platform. I know that another faith grouping had sent in 63,000 submissions. So this is probably the largest opposition, if you like, to something which particularly has detrimental impacts on religious freedom that has ever been received, and is a critical part of the democratic process, because government simply cannot ignore the voice of the people. And if they do so, then potentially we would be able to say to government, look, you have actually been in breach of your own process, and therefore this must be struck down because it's unconstitutional. If you follow wrong process, it can be unconstitutional. And that would be certainly something that we would consider if they tried to continue with this in its current form.
So, Michael, I want to find out, because obviously people have been submitting, people have been, engaging. You've been doing road shows, you've been traveling around the country. Obviously, with the president's announcement this past Sunday, you had to cancel quite a number of those road shows, and they've done a lot of stuff over Zoom and on Facebook. But hypothetically speaking, if we've received sufficient submissions, which I think is 100,000 if I'm not mistaken, opposing the amendment bill itself, what will happen, or what recourse do we have as the religious sector, to call it, if the government still enacts the bill, even if sufficient submissions have been received that are opposing the amendments?
There is no magic number to how many submissions actually tilt the scale. But if you like, if one submission is the faintest of faint whispers, definitely once you get into the tens of thousands, which we are, it becomes a very loud megaphone. And government really cannot simply ignore democratic process. And so unless they take those submissions into account, and obviously now that's what they have to do, the Department of Justice will now have to collate and go through every single one, supposedly, and see what people are saying. If they then don't listen to the voice of the people, and they simply want to push ahead and try and force this thing into law, then we will certainly be in a position to mount a legal constitutional challenge against the process the government is following, and potentially that will actually derail the entire bill even before it gets to Parliament. So we will certainly be looking at all the options, but we certainly do believe that a voice has been not just spoken, but really shouted from the rooftops. This is not something that the faith community, in the broadest sense of South Africa, wants to live under in terms of laws in this country.
So, Michael, you mentioned that once, if that does take place, how long would we know after this end of submission date, of course, until we know when the bill will be enacted, or if the government will be going through it? Is there a specific time period? Is it 2 weeks, a month, 6 months? And then we'll know if the submissions have been adhered to or listened to, or just foregone and just the government pushes through. How long does that process normally take?
Well, it could take a while, because obviously in this case, they've received an awful lot of submissions and they have to go through every single one of them. So, were they, for example, to come out at the end of next week to say we've considered the submissions and we're just going ahead, there would be a great outcry, because clearly they have not read, 100 and maybe 50,000 submissions in a week. So it is a longer process, and typically what happens is that they then will take a decision. They may redraft it. They may come up with a different version of it. They may say, well, we didn't intend to do the things that have been so strongly objected to, but we do want to do X, Y, and Z. So government still always will have the prerogative, but we can only go on what is written. And when we look at what is written, we look particularly for what might even be the unintended consequences of what will happen if it comes into law. And that's why we have to be so careful to examine these and to alert people to the potential dangers, and to give people the opportunity, as we have done, to speak out and to make your voices heard.
Yeah. So, Michael, there's that whole old saying that prevention is better than cure, and I know you guys have been sounding the alarms for a long time now around this, but obviously looking around social media, it all seems like a last-minute scramble, especially amongst the sector in itself. But what can we do in future to prevent all of this? That it almost feels like a last-minute scramble to get the government to adjust its course. What steps can we now take as an individual or as an organization going forward to ensure that we are proactive and not reactive?
Well, I think we obviously have to be aware and alerted to what is happening in society and what is happening in the laws of the land, particularly. And that's what we 4SA do. We are essentially like watchmen on the walls, looking over the whole area of religious freedom and protecting all our rights. And so I would recommend that you go to the 4SA website, forsa.org.za, and sign up for our newsletter, for example, because if there are issues that are coming up, then we will send you out alerts. And what we try to do is we try to look at the issues. Sometimes they're quite complex, but we try to make them, if you like, easy to understand, and then also to give you something that you can do to basically push back. So the more informed we are, and the more ready we are, and the more we actually then take advantage of the democratic process, which we are entitled to, the more effective our voice can be to sustain opposition to anything which would seek to erode our religious freedom rights. And this is the thing about rights. You may have them, but unless you use them and unless you defend them, they can very easily be lost. So we have to really be alert. We have to be, as I've often said, like the sons of Issachar, who understood the times.
Yes.
And I think that is really what we need to be in our generation.
Well, Michael, thank you so much for your time, and I thank you for what you guys are doing as an entire team as well. I know I speak on behalf of the entire Faith family, all our viewers, our partners, our staff, our team, and just in general on behalf of the body of Christ, because we obviously need men and women like you guys at Freedom of Religion South Africa, fighting the good fight and being those watchmen at those walls, just making sure that the government is held to account for religious freedom in South Africa.
Thank you. And thank you also for your support for us. We need support to continue to do what we do. So any contributions are obviously extremely welcome.
No, that's awesome. Well, thank you very much, Michael. And even as we've agreed already, we'll be doing this on a regular basis, at least once a month, just to keep everyone updated so people can know what is going on and be engaged in everything that's taking place. And of course, that doesn't mean it's just once a month. It could be if something happens, we might have to adjust quickly now. Obviously, we're still digesting the whole level 4 lockdown in South Africa, and we don't know what will come up, but we will definitely chat offline and then always keep people informed about what is happening in and around our country from a legislative point of view.
Thank you so much, Bandan. Thank you so much to Faith TV. Really appreciate the support.
Well, God bless you, and thank you, Michael. Enjoy the rest of your day. I know you're very busy. You've got multiple interviews and engagements coming up, so we'll let you go and release you right now. Thank you very much. God bless. Well, that was an incredible conversation with Michael Swain. It's so encouraging to see the people out there who are at the gates of Parliament, at the gates of legal entities around the world as well, speaking on behalf of the body of Christ. So you've been informed as a South African and you know what's going on.
And we just want to encourage you, please go ahead and click on that link and give your feedback. And here at the Faith Family of Networks, we have such a great lineup for you. So during the week, Mondays through Thursdays at 6 p.m. Central African Time, there is Faith Today. It has been epic.
Yep.
It's just been on a whole new level. And Friday nights at 6 p.m., Young and Young at Heart. The NXT Live. That's the next generation that's here to make sure you are running at full force for your God. And on Sundays, of course, Take Me to Church. There's faith worship at 9 a.m. Central African Time. Be a part of that.
So always encouraging things taking place right here. You can watch our live programs or pre-recorded programs that will always encourage you. Thank you for being a part of what we are doing right here at the Faith Family of Networks. Always connect with us, always partner with us, because we are here to stand together and build the kingdom of God. On behalf of Dr. Andre and Pastor Jenny Raybert, we love you. God bless you. See you next time.
I'm waiting for you at this point.
It's not recording. I know when it's recording.
Surely, man. Even Jaden.
What you know about rolling?
Tough times never last. But you think I'm gonna do dumb things in front of the camera?
3, 2, 1.
Is there another one?
Easy. When you run, you're like this. I don't know what you were doing, bro. You even your mouth got distorted. His face was distorted, bro.
Finger me.
Yeah, bro. Better check your jeans.
Tando's
bro.
crying already.
You know that lady from Idols remind me of her, with the one that begins to cry. You remember that time with that lady, that one she's like, it's to you.
Oh my god.
That video, bro. Where you picking up?
Maybe hold it like Jade holds the food. Shante,
Where am I standing on this side?
Jade holds the food.
Yes.
Let's do this.
You do this. Chop. I have to do this. So, Shante, look at my legs. Well, welcome to the Faith Dome. An incredible time right here.
We love you. We appreciate you. You are beautiful and awesome, and you are.
Don't call him an IT guy.
Okay.
It's not the last interview we'll do, hey.
I mean, it's not the first. I don't know if anyone would ever remember. I think I did a small little segment somewhere along the line there, very shy. I think I've learned a little bit from that, but I hope this will be the last.
Okay, next volunteer. Next, who's Tuma?
And talking about shifting content, we have Quick Study with Rod Hembry happening at Monday.
At Monday.
At Monday.
It's Monday night. It's Tuesday, Friday. Woo!
We are recording. What makes you think I didn't hear anything?
No.
He said he's gonna use the video to start the band.
The what?
He's gonna use the video to start his band.
No! Ain't nobody coming there, girl.
No.
Do you see how my husband is letting me do all the work? Because he didn't read the run sheet. That's
did.
fine. Well, check this out. Hey boy, dome update.
We got an uncle in the financial business, Gregory Kler. Uncle Gregory Kler.
So we're back once again talking to our uncle in the finance business. So exciting. You know, as I mentioned, I think about 2-3 weeks ago, my wife actually got you a jingle. so exciting.
You have an uncle in the financial business, Gregory Kler. Did you like that? Did you like that? Let's talk about this.
I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my friends.
But let's go to the synchronized clappers.
Synchronized clappers. Round of applause.
I told you not to do that.
Like, you know when someone knows a punchline, when they know their line, and then there's someone confident pushing stuff away. Relax, human. It's not the class oral this.
And on Sunday.
Wow, the energy. Just pass it on. Don't say anything.
Oh.
Just pass the mic along.
Give me the mic. Let me recite some Timothy White. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong.
And on Sunday, it's Take Me to Church. Faith worship is live.
That's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna say, come on.
No, you said hallelujah. So pick up the hallelujah.
Okay, you know. Hallelujah is supposed to be a happy word, not hallelujah.
Okay, Jade, what do we talk about? Because the ladies talk about fridges.
The only thing that's we've already spoken the French one.
What is that, Shante?
And
Maybe we should just start our own band. You see, they were harmonizing so nicely.
No, that wasn't harmonizing. I was just singing in unison. But it's good. We're a faith family. We're here to walk this journey of faith together.
If you think we should start a band together, just let us know. I don't like that thing. Let's do it again. Can you do that last part again? Can you do that last one?
Because you pick up there. So on behalf of Pastor Andre and Jenny, we
Yes,
want to
son.
thank you. Church, goodbye. Shalom.
Ready?
We've been recording all the services.
On behalf of Dr. Andre, Pastor Jenny, and the team from Faith.
Perfect blooper.
You've got to use that in the show.
That's gonna be a blooper.
That's gonna be a
100%.
I'll see you next time.
Okay, then. Bye-bye then.